Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a spicy one for you. I'm going to be talking about some tier list rankings for the most popular commanders right now. That's right. What commanders are being built right now? What are the most popular ones? And which ones, well, stack up here, stack up there, stack up anywhere when it comes to their power level rankings, according to me. That's right. We're going to be going from the D tier all the way up to the S tier. Let's jump into it. And I probably should have mentioned one more thing really quick, that this is in the power level vacuum of comparing these 20 commanders to each other, okay? It's not comparing outside commanders, which might be more or less powerful, so keep that in mind. Regardless, Azlask, the Swelling Scourge, a crazy cool new commander that gives Eldrazi 5 colors, like another one we might talk about here in a little bit. Regardless, a very popular commander right now, 2/2 Eldrazi for 3 mana. Whenever it and other colors creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. By paying Wooburg, creatures you control get +X/+X until after X the number of experience counters you have. And most importantly, Scions and Spawns you control gain Indestructible Annihilator 2 until end of turn. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, the main thing there is that you give Scions and Spawns Annihilator, while also being hard to deal with the Indestructibility, but yeah, Annihilator 1, which can stack, if you activate this multiple times, you can stack that on top of whatever Annihilator you might have, which is probably nothing with your Scions and Spawns, but still. This is, I swing at you once, probably take you out once I'm set up properly. It does take some time to set up. That being said, Eldrazi is a very, very powerful creature type. Very, very powerful tribe that is getting more and more support lately. And yeah, again, it literally is just like, okay, I activate this once, maybe even twice, or I have a way to like double up that trigger, and then all of a sudden I just swing at one player and their entire board is gone. Like, they don't have to be taken out. Like, their life total can still be there, but if they don't have a board, if they have no lands, they lose. They basically lose. So yeah, this is one, again, does take some setup. I'm thinking, again, there's some heavy hitters, obviously, on this. Like, some of the most popular commanders right now are, of course, some of the most powerful ones right now, too. So, I'm thinking like a B plus, A minus, but we're going to go with an A for now, and that might adjust later on. I reserve the right to change these, okay? And let me know, of course, you know, at the end of this, if you agree or disagree with some of my picks. I'm sure many of you have different opinions than me, and that's okay. It's all based on my opinion on power levels right now. So, I'm sorry if I'm wrong on these, according to you. Henzie Toolbox Story, also a very popular commander that has really kind of withstood the test of time recently. I mean, it came out in what, I'm not going to think about the year on that one, but New Capenna was quite a while ago. Anyways, a 3/3 Devil Rogue for 3 mana in Jund. Each creature spell with mana value 4 or greater has Blitz. The Blitz cost equal to its mana cost. Blitz cost, you pay 1 less for each time you've cast your commanders with commands in this game. There's some crazy cool things that you can do this one. There's some infinite things you can do this one. It does take some time to set up. So again, like, you want to actually get your commander out and get rid of it. Then get your commander back out, then get rid of it. Then get your commander out, then get rid of it. So you can actually just cast a lot of your creatures at a giant reduced cost or even for free. If you have like Ancestral Statue, Infinite Shenanigans, lovely times. Yeah, I mean, again, it does require a good amount of setup. There is some cool things that you can do with it. Overall, I'm going to say this one's more middle of the road right now, though. So let's go with Henzie Toolbox Story as a B tier commander. Again, in comparison to these commanders I'm bringing up on this episode. Next up. Okay. I'm just going to throw this one up there right now to start things off, and then we'll discuss. This is an S tier commander. This is a commander that I honestly believed that players would go easy on, and I don't know why I thought that. If you just look at the page on this commander at EDH Rec, like, over 80% of the decks have Shuko in them, which means that, yeah, players are just trying to do the easy, powerful thing with this, which is, I mean, to be expected with some commanders, but other ones I'm like, oh yeah, players will play that with some fun ways. Like, you know, like cast some spells that trigger this. No. I play one equipment that costs 1 mana, and I move it from this creature to that creature, this creature, that creature, this creature, that creature, and I get all this value. That's basically what this is. This is combos. It's not like an infinite combo. There are infinite combos you can do with it. It's like combos with a lot of very easy to do things. Okay. 3/4 Bird Wizard with flying for 3 mana in Simic. Creatures you control have whenever this creature comes to the target of a spell or ability. For the top card of your library, it's a land card put on the battlefield. Otherwise, put in your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. Per creature you have. So again, if you've got 10 creatures in play, oh no, I can only get that trigger 20 times. Or if I've got certain things like, again, landfall, make a creature. Oh, cool, I can trigger 2 more times now. Because all you need to do is just, again, get those, like, 0 mana equip things, which, yes, do target, because I have said some comments that were like, that doesn't target. It does. Equipment does target, okay? It does. Yeah, I looked that up myself, too, a while ago. But, yes, hey, just getting this trigger as many times as you want. Yeah, it's incredibly powerful. Again, get extra free lands that come into play untapped, and then also get extra free cards in your hand. Yeah, this commander is crazy, crazy, crazy good and being built in crazy ways. Next up, another new Simic commander. Not nearly as crazy. I mean, it's off the wall crazy, but it's not like crazy powerful. Omo, Queen of Asuva. 1/5 Shapeshifter Noble for 3 mana in Simic. Whenever it enters battlefield or attacks, put an everything counter to 1 target land and up to 1 target creature. Each land with everything counter on it is every land type, but just other types. Each non-land creature with everything counter on it is every creature type. Interesting. It is very interesting. Is it all that good? Like, there are some cool things you can do with it. It does require a ton of setup. I mean, more so than any other commander we've talked about so far. A ton of setup to be very effective. I mean, you can do, like, Lord's Tribal kind of things, do some, like, weird, like, land shenanigans as well, but, like, a lot of setup to do so. Just nowhere near as powerful as the other commanders I'm talking about so far. Omo, you are a D-tier commander in comparison to these other ones. Next up, Stella Lee Wild Card. Oh, goodness. Okay, 2/4 Human Rogue for 3 mana. And is it whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile a top card of your library until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. This card does not need that line of text to be where I'm going to be placing it. Tap, copy target, instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose targets with a copy. Active if you cast 3 more spells this turn. That is a non-requirement. I mean, yes, it's a requirement, but it takes no time or effort at all to do that. You're like, okay, cantrip, actual spell I want to copy infinitely, most likely. Yeah, because you just cast like a dramatic reversal. Cool, I untap all my things infinitely, including my commander, so I can keep doing that again and again and again. And of course, untap all of my mana rocks, untap all my other creatures that might have activated abilities too. Or Cerulean Wisps. Cool, untap my commander as many times as I need to just copy Cerulean Wisps, which draws me a card each time I do so. So yeah, drawing my entire deck or whatever I need. There's so many easy ways to go infinite with this. It's such a low-to-the-ground commander that you can go infinite super quickly. Of course, you got ways to give it haste too. Definitely an S-tier commander. And this one is one that probably stands above Nadu as well. Like, if we had to go, like, S+, I think, Stella Lee is probably at the tippy top right now just because of how easy it is to really break. Crazy. Moving on, Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow. This is where things get hairy because, like, Yuriko is crazy powerful, of course, as well. A 1/3 human ninja for 3 mana in Dimir. Commander Ninjutsu for just 2 mana in Dimir. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card in your hand. Each opponent loses life with that card's converted mana cost. You can drain your opponents out super quickly with this. I mean, there's ways to manipulate the top of your library, ways to get specific things on top, and you can just play cards that, like, you don't ever really intend to play, like a Draco, which just drains your opponents for 16 each when you hit that. And, of course, there's other cards that, like, you actually do intend to play, like ones that have Delve or whatnot that still cost a ton, but drain your opponents for a lot. And, of course, you get extra card advantage with that, counter all your ninjas, and you get around Commander tax as well. You Commander Ninjutsu it out, so you never have to pay Commander tax on this ever, ever, ever. Yeah, that's a crazy powerful commander. That being said, is it quite as broken as the other ones I just talked about? And maybe it's because I'm being influenced by the ones I just talked about, and I'm going to be doing this, but I do think that this one's more like an A+ in comparison. So I'm very sorry, Yuko fans out there. I know she's incredibly powerful. But, like, is she as powerful as just the potential of Nadu or Stella Lee? I don't know. Like, I don't think she's Stella Lee powerful, because Stella Lee can just combo with a ham sandwich quite quickly. Nadu, again, takes incredibly little setup at all, like no setup at all to be like, oh, okay, cool, I broke it. Oh, no, I drew my deck. Oh, no, I got every single land into play. Oh, no. Yuriko, yeah, you can luckily hit certain things off the top and drain your opponents in no time at all. It's very fast. Kiss for our commander tax. It's like an A+. It's like an A+. I'll go with that right now. So, Yuriko, you're very, very, very good. Atraxa Praetor's Voice, moving on. A 4/4 Angel that costs 4 mana, every color but red. Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, keyword soup right there, but most importantly, begin your end step, Proliferate. You can build this in many, many directions. I mean, Poison, you can build it in Super Friends, you can build it in Charge Counters. +1 counters is its probably most powerful build type, though still like maybe sprinkling in like cards that like draw you cards, but also give each opponent a poison counter, or those kind of cards essentially, where it's like, oh, I also can just win through poison if I need to. Yeah, it's a very good commander. Again, you can just turn this into a 2-shot KO quite quickly in a counters build, or even a 1-shot KO at some point. That is also hard to deal with. Yeah, but compared to some of these other commanders, I think you're more like a B tier commander. You're very, very popular, obviously, but I'm going to say B tier for now. Kaalia of the Vast, a 2/2 human cleric for 4 mana. In Mardu colors, flying, attacks an opponent. You may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature for your hand on the battlefield tapped and attacking that opponent. Let me know in the comments below really quick. Sorry, separate question really quick. That's off topic, but like, why an opponent? Isn't that like implied? If it's attacking an opponent. You can't just attack yourself with a creature. Like, if an opponent stole it, then you'd be their opponent and they get to do that. So like, why does it say opponent? Let me know in the comments below, please. You can't just attack. Oh, I guess because it could attack a planeswalker, of course. Anyways, that's still specific and not needed, I don't think. Anyways, cheating and things into play is very powerful. That being said, it's specific things, still very powerful things. Yeah, if you get the right things in your hand, there's ways to do them. Of course, to get the right things in your hand, you can cheat into play some very, very deadly. Again, you probably want to lean into specifically like Angel, Demon, or Dragon Tribal to get the most of this commander versus kind of like having a mix of all of them. It's one that I do think is very good. Like, where does it stack up compared to the other commanders, though? Oh, goodness. You're already dependent on combat. It's like a C+, B-. We're going to go with a B for now, and I hold the right to adjust that. I do. It might be a C at the end of the day, though. I might adjust it. Satya, Aetherflux Genius, a 3/5 human artificer for 4 mana in Jeskai, Menace Haste. Attacks create attacking tokens, copy to one target non-token creature control. You get 2 energy counters at the beginning of the next end step. Sacrifice unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. I mean, it's just nowhere near kind of the power level of anything else on this list. I mean, except for like Omo. Yeah, creating an extra token of another creature is nice. You have to send your commander into danger to do so, though. Yes, Menace is decent evasion, but not great. And sometimes you get to keep those kits around if you actually, get enough energy counters. So, yeah, abuse and abuse ETBs kind of thing. Gosh, it's above, like, Omo potentially, but, like, it is, like, a D+, like, C- kind of commander. Moving on, the Necrobloom. 2/7 plant for 4 mana. In Abzan, landfall, whatever land is battlefield you control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands, different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. Land cards in your graveyard have Reg 2. I mean, even if it didn't have that last part, this would still be very, very, very good. Making a, army of zombies or army of plants. Very, very good. But also, yeah, has infinite combo potential with that Dredge too. Like, every single one of your lands is basically Dackmore Salvage, which means that, hey, any of your lands with this in play combos with a Gitrog monster now, essentially, with a discard outlet. So, yeah, this is very, very powerful in that kind of a build. There's ways to cheat out the Gitrog monster into play. And actually, I guess you could, like, what's the one? Protean Hulk, sacrifice Gitrog monster come into play, as well as Putrid Imp. Is that the one that discards too? So there you go. Any land in your hand, infinite. There you go. You probably win from there. So yes, there are definitely some like combo wins you can with this. Also just a very solid landfall commander though, in good colors too. I'd say overall a B tier commander compared to the monsters on this list. Next up, the Wise Mothman, a 3/3 insect mutant with flying for 4 mana in Sultai. When enters the battlefield or attacks, each player gets a rad counter. Whenever one or more non-land cards are milled, put a counter on each of up to X star creatures for X number of non-land counters milled this way. I mean, yeah, that can be quite a bit. It can go quite large. You can drain your opponents quite quickly and yourself as well, technically, right, with those rad counters as well. I mean, yeah, you can get a lot of counters on a lot of creatures. Again, Proliferate is going to help you out with the rad counters as well as those counters, the +1 counters as well. It's above, like, the bottom tier, but again, compared to the monsters that are on this list, I don't think it's quite even to the B tier. So let's go with a C tier commander. Moving on, Disa the Restless. A 5/6 human scout for 5 mana in Jund. Whenever a Lurgoyf permanent card is put in your graveyard from anywhere on the battlefield, put on the battlefield. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a Tarmogoyf token. This one is one where you think it'd be better, but like there aren't that many Tarmogoyfs out there. There aren't many Lurgoyfs out there actually. Shapeshifters do count. Yes, they do. So there are. I mean, you do get a influx of shapeshifters, essentially shapeshifters, changelings, I should say, that do help this out as well. To like get those things for free, like if you milled them, or if you just mill your entire library, you get like your entire amount of creatures out that are that permanent type. But also, yeah, I mean, being able to deal combat damage, and of course you can do that multiple times in a turn in these colors, because, well, I guess you have red, that's really the main thing. You got extra combat spells you can technically use, as well as double strike effects like Rage Reflection. So you can get a lot of Tarmogoyf tokens. You also have populate effects too. So this isn't quite the bottom, but like it is, again, limited to, again, the permanent type that it is with Lurgoyfs. So I'm going to say that this is also a C tier commander. Next up, Korvold. Okay. Whoa, okay, Korvold. 4/4 Dragon Noble for 5 mana and John Flying. Whenever enters the battlefield or attack, sacrifice another permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a counter on Korvold, draw a card. I mean, with the amount of treasure support that has been happening over the past couple of years, it's just absurd what this can do. Like, again, you get treasures in play, you sacrifice them, you draw cards, and you get the mana from those too. So, and you get Korvold large as well. You can turn Korvold very easily into a one-shot KO in absolutely no time. We get even more like fetch land type cards now too, like with Escape Tunnel, and now like the Jund Tricycle Land thing or whatever it is. I don't know what we're calling that these days, but yes, lots and lots and lots of ways to get things into play, sacrifice them, and get a lot of value out of that. So this is just a card that can go, I mean, Voltron in no time at all, although that's just like a secondary win condition for it. But yeah, draw your entire library in no time at all too. Get so much value out of this. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, even though it's a 5 mana commander versus 3 versus the other 2 that are in the S tier, I think this is still an S tier commander comparison. It's a very powerful commander. Next up, Pantlaza, Lazy Pants, Sun Favorite, a 4/4 dinosaur for 5 mana in Naya. Whenever it or another dinosaur enters the battlefield under your control, you may discover X, where X is that creature's toughness. There's only once each turn. With that limitation, that does limit this quite a bit. There are some really weird, like, janky off-the-wall kinds of decks that you can utilize with this. Like, I use, like, a Blightsteel Colossus type strategy with, like, Reality Scramble, I think it was, whatever it was, where you can just, like, automatically get Blightsteel. Like, sure, that's weird, but, like, you know, you can do that. This one more so is probably more like Dinosaur Tribal, essentially, which is good. Dinosaur does have a good amount of support. Is limited compared to some other tribes, though, but still it's a great amount of value. Again, like, free Discover, free creatures off the top of your library, essentially, or free other things. And then also just, like, blink your dinosaurs. Cool. And get that again and again and again. I mean, this is probably, again, like, compared to some of the other ones, it's like a C+, B-, I guess I would say. I mean, I think I'm going to throw it in the C's. Like, it's a C+, B-. Like, it's above D, so it definitely is. So maybe D deserves to go lower, but I think it's a C. All right, moving on. Ulalek Fused Atrocity, a 2/5 Eldrazi for all the colors. Colorless or white, colorless or blue, colorless or black, colorless or red, colorless or green. Lots of combinations you can use to cast this. To void, whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you may pay 2 colorless. If you do, copy all spells you control, then copy all their activated triggered abilities you control. Choose arts to the copies. Crazy powerful in Eldrazi Tribal. Obviously, you've got access to all 5 colors now. It is not, in my opinion, up to Azlask. Azlask is more powerful in that you can just, oh, okay, cool. I make a go wide strategy. I make a bunch of scions and spawns. I can populate to whatever, get more and more of them. I activate my commander, maybe I activate another time, if I go to copy that activation, and I annihilate someone's board, and they're gone. This is a very powerful commander as well. You can copy your things, but I don't think it's quite to what Azlask is, so because of that, I'm going to throw you in the B tier, just below Azlask. Next up, Edgar Markov has withstood the test of time, a very popular commander still. 4/4 Vampire Knight for 6 mana in Mardu. Eminence, whenever you cast a vampire spell, another vampire spell I should say, if it's in the command zone on the battlefield, you make a 1/1 vampire, first strike haste, attacks, get a counter each vampire you control, super fast vampires. You go low to the ground, you get a lot of vampires out, and again, Eminence, you just get free extra value with this in your command zone. You get to go wide super quickly, very aggressive deck. If you want to get your commander out, sure, get it out, and then pump your army as well. Oh, I might receive some flack from this because I do think oh, goodness gracious. I mean, it is a very powerful commander. It can definitely be very powerful with the right build. Oh, goodness. Is it to a B tier, though? It's like B- in my opinion. It's like B or C+. I'm going to go with that. And maybe I'm going to get some flack, and that's okay. Myram Sentinelworm, a 6/6 Dragon Spirit for 6 mana in Team or Flying Ward 2. For non-token dragon, enters the battlefield under control, create a token's copy of it, except the token isn't ledger. If it's dragon's legendary, copy every single one of your dragons, including your legendaries, is crazy. Again, if you copy a legendary dragon, now all of a sudden you can, like, populate that copy and make even more copies of it, which is absurd. Like Nimbus Parent. Oh, I got so many of those. Great. Yeah, this is really powerful. It also did not need Ward 2 Wizards. It did not need Ward 2. I mean, one thing that is holding it back is that it is at 6 mana. But yeah, dragons are getting more and more support. I mean, this is like, it's one of those where I go back and forth. I go back and forth on this. It's like, It's like B+, A-. I'm going to go with an A. It does cost, I mean, it's nowhere, I don't think it's Yuriko. It's not quite Yuriko. But it is very powerful. Yuriko is obviously much lower to the ground. Can take out opponents super quickly. This is just super amounts of value, though. Maybe I'm just avoiding the B tier because I just put more things in the B tier. And it's quite full right now, but like, maybe it's a B tier, maybe it's on A. I'm going to stick with it for now, and maybe we'll change it. All right. Sorin the Dark Lord. 7/6 Avatar for 6 mana in Grixis. Ward, sacrifice a ledger artifact, a legendary creature. Whenever you cast, an opponent casts a spell, amass Orcs 1. Whenever an army you control does combat with your player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, discard your hand if you draw 4 cards. There's a lot of different ways that you can build this. It's quite powerful in many of those ways. One way you can just do is just take advantage of your opponent's casting spells and amassing Orcs 1, and then having like a free sacrifice outlet in play that maybe deals damage, like a Goblin Bombardment. So you're like, oh, okay, cool. Cast a spell, you just take 1 damage basically. Damage doublers, damage triplers. Hard to deal with. It is. Again, this is where I like go back and forth now because I just put Miriam at A, even though it is 6 mana. Maybe Miriam should be B. I really probably should. I'm going to move that one down. Let me know in the comments what that was the wrong call, but I'm moving Miriam down to B. I'm moving it down to B. All right. Sorin, though, I don't think you're quite to that level, though. Like, you do some pretty powerful things. I do think you're more of, like, a C tier commander. Like, a higher end C tier commander, but you are a C tier commander. Okay. Zul'Dak Void Gorger. A 7/4 Eldrazi for 6 mana. Color spells you cast from your hand with mana value 7 or greater have as Cascade. That's a lot of extra free value. Unlike many of these other commanders, though, I think every single other commander, actually, you are limited to just colorless, which is none of the colors. So you are the most limited color identity. You do have to ramp quite a bit to get to the point where you're like, okay, I cast a lot of, high value things to Cascade. It's a lot of free value. It does require a good amount of setup to get there, though. And you are hitting random things technically, too. It's definitely not the worst. I mean, I don't think it's even middle of the road, though, in comparison to some of the other ones, though. So let's throw you in the C tier. Finally, the Ur-Dragon. A 10/10 dragon avatar for 9 mana in Wooburg. Eminence, as long as it's in the command zone on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 to cast. Flying, whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards, put a permanent card from your hand on the battlefield. And this is where, like, again, like my previous decision to move Miriam down moves this one down as well. This is so weird because, like, then... I feel like I need to move other ones down now, too. Oh, this is just so tough. Okay. This is so tough because, like, Disa... Maybe I'll just move Disa down because Disa just needs to move down compared to some of these other ones now, too. Ur-Dragon, though, like, I don't think you're quite up to Miriam, though. Like, because Miriam can come out earlier, can copy all your dragons. Like, this is good because it reduces the cost, obviously, automatically that Eminence. And also, when you do get into play, my goodness, the amount of value you can get out of it. And it can also be a very easy... 2-shot KO. Like, you need, like, just 1 more power, but very easy 2-shot. Maybe even a 1-shot KO with, like, double strike. Oh, it's probably B tier, though. But again, like, it just, like, is better than some of the other ones in the B tier, too. So it's tough. It's very tough. Like, I don't know where to go with this. It might be B or C tier, I mean, but it might be B. I'm putting in C right now. I'm going to regret this. Because, like, Kaalia is there, too. Oh, this is just messy. Fine, you go up to the C tier. You go up to the B tier. A lot in the B tier right now, though. Maybe it's just like why I'm like hesitant with the B tier because like there's just so many in there already. But yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good overall with this is. I don't know why. I feel like I'm more conflicted with this one than I've been to other ones in the past with my rankings. Like I don't do these rankings ahead of time and then like have like a spreadsheet on the side where like I then put them in the exact ones. I go based off of gut feel. Maybe Kaalia deserves to go down one. I'm going to move Kaalia down. Okay, things are moving a lot on this one compared to their episodes, but I think overall, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out right now. Definitely the S tier. Like, the S tier, like, I mean, it's going to be hard, in my opinion, to argue against Stella Lee as an S tier commander. Nadu as well, really. Corval just has always been, like, top tier commander since it came out. Yuriko probably could be argued to be up there, too, but, like, I think it's slightly lower than that. Azlask is just like, again, once you get set up, and maybe I'm overestimating just how easy to get set up, but like there's a lot of ways these days to make a bunch of spawns, a bunch of scions. So a lot of ways to double up your tokens as well. Like again, I didn't even talk about like doubling season, those kinds of effects. Doubling up the tokens you already have, populating essentially. And again, being able to ramp quickly enough to be able to activate your commander's ability twice or copy the ability essentially so that you can just annihilate your opponents more than once or have extra combats and just annihilate all players in the same turn. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that there, too. It's interesting, though, because there's like so many layers to each one of these tiers. So, and yeah, I do feel pretty good about the D tier right now, I guess, which is ironic again, because that's 3 of the face commanders, which again are very popular, but like nowhere near as powerful as the other commanders in this list. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on these tier list rankings. How would you rank these popular commanders right now? What do you think is the most powerful, least powerful? Where am I wrong? Where am I right? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.